Morning. Let's get to it. Ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to it. All right, first thing first, let's rock and roll. Let's get it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today is Tuesday. Y'all understand the drill. Tuesday, May the 19th, 2026. We're going to be live trading, ladies and gentlemen. This is no financial advice. Education purposes only. Let's get to it. All right. So, first thing first, just looking in the pre-market, swing contracts that we swung on, spot to the downside, pay us pretty well. We swung 730s for Wednesday, puts to the downside, and also 730 for Friday. So just looking at the market, we might want to come down and reclaim some targets from the previous day, so that'd be pretty awesome for us. We do have an opportunity to be able to look at the market from a different perspective. I know that the Korean exchange did a correction, so a 10% drop, so that affected chip sector. So we'll be looking at NVIDIA and things like that, so we'll see if we can take full advantage of that. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to fire your way today. We'll be rocking and roll, so let's get it. All right, so let's get it. All right, first thing first, I try to explain to people, just be patient. All right, just be patient, ladies and gentlemen, just be patient. All right, let's get it. Let's be patient. All right, so we got what we're looking for, ladies and gentlemen. Let's rock and roll, and let's see if we can actually continue to keep on pushing forward and go from there. All right, so let's get it. All right, so we already claimed our put target. So ladies and gentlemen, so our target on puts now, entry will be 733 unless we retrace before the market open, and then we'll go from there. We're down $4.20 in the pre-market, so that's just part of the game, just looking at the market for what it is. All we have to do is just be a little bit patient and see if we reclaim, and if we do reclaim and we do push up and we come down and we break below, we take the trade idea. So it's all about just being patient and being efficient, right? So just being patient and being efficient, right? So let's get it. You guys can put anything in the chat. You guys are real responding in the chat live. Let's go. It's going to be a busy day. All right, so many different things is shaping and taking place. We got Tesla with a 6-point drop in the pre-market. We'll be looking at that on a 15-minute orb and see if we could take full advantage of that. So 15-minute orb, targets. So we shall see. Once the market actually opens up, we'll see if everything holds the way it's supposed to hold, and then we can go from there to the upside, to the downside. It doesn't really even matter which direction we want to trade the market in. We just have to trade the market. It doesn't really even matter. All right. 1 minute time frame, like I said, if we want to be able to come up here and break and retest, that'd be pretty awesome for us, but that still remain our put target. But if we completely hold below that before the market open, we'll actually take our target to take profit as our next entry point. So let's get it. All right, let's go. All right, remember, ladies and gentlemen, there's no financial advice. It's educational purposes only. Make sure you guys do your due diligence to put yourself in position to be successful. All right, so let's get it. Less than 7 minutes. All right, just looking at the market, looking at AT&T is up in the pre-market. 90-minute time frame, AT&T looks pretty stellar. I'm gonna be quite frank and honest with you. I'm looking to take AT&T from the bill. Trying to see if we can actually break above 24.58. We'll be taking 25 calls this week expiration. Multiple targets, 24, 98, so pretty much 25. First target will be 24.77. Then we can continue to keep on clearing house from there, and then we can actually continue to keep on making moves from there. So let's be patient. AT&T, let's go. All right, let's get it. AT&T. All right, so AT&T. All right, any specific questions, just put it in the chat. I will reply. Let's go. All right, teamwork makes the dream work, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, be patient, be poised, see something, say something. Let's get to it. Remember, today is one of those days you're just going to have to be a little bit more patient and do a little bit more due diligence. The market is retracing from all-time highs. It's just part of the game. It's just part of the system. And I think a lot of us, we get caught up in things that don't even matter. So we got to be a little bit patient. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We shall see what the market want to do. 1 minute time frame. We are coming back below our put target. So like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we'll allow it to actually see if we're going to adjust. If we don't adjust, our target to take profit will turn into our entry point to the downside. So just be a little bit prepared for that. All right, no rush, ladies and gentlemen. Please do not rush the trade. Allow the trade to come to you. Remember, any trade idea, that don't mean it's 100% going to go in your direction. You got to see the green, you got to take the green, and everything else in between. All right, so like I said, AT&T is one of those trades we're going to be trading. Coca-Cola, we're still in those swings as well. We'll see how we open up. Pre-market, we are up. 90-minute time frame, we did get a rejection at 81.46. So we'll see what happens as we continue to keep on moving forward, but it's just continue to keep on climbing. We did bounce around 77.85. This was back on the 11th. And we've been in a straight uptrend ever since then. So this is what I like about the market. The market gives you an opportunity to continue to keep on building from there. Looking at CMG, pretty much we had a ceiling on a 90-minute time frame. 9 hour time frame, we do have an inside, so we're trying to see if CMG can go up here and go two up at 33.80. We go to 33.80, we take the $35 calls this week expiration. We got multiple targets, 34.20, and then we got the top of the pit, 35.86, 35.20. So pretty much I'll be looking to be able to see if this continue to keep on rallying for me. All right, so let's go. All right, so let's get it. Let's get it. All right, so main thing that I try to explain to people is when you're looking at the market, you look at it for what it is, whatever the direction the market is, follow the trend. The trend is your friend. 15-minute time frame on the video. I gave you guys entry points on that as well. 218.40. That's going to be our entry to the downside. We're going to be taking the 220s. We're going to be taking the 215s this week expiration. All right, so let's get it. All right, so patience, ladies and gentlemen. Please, ladies and gentlemen, do not force any trade today. All right, so the market is doing what the market's going to do. You just have to regroup. If you did any swings and the swings are panning out in the morning, just take the swings and keep it moving from there. All right, don't stress yourself about things that you can't control. Let's get it. All right, if you guys are following me on Telegram, ladies and gentlemen, I gave you guys 2 play ideas that I like. Outside of that, we're going to be live trading today. So my whole thing is just be able to lock in, be patient. I treat everything like a scalp. All right, Verizon. I saw something on Verizon, a 90-minute time frame that I really liked. Verizon got a little bit of consolidation. We do got a 2-3-1, so we're pretty much looking to go 2 up. Looking to take Verizon $47 calls from the bill. All right, so we shall see what happens as we continue to keep on monitoring the pre-market. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of things that's going on the geopolitical event. Not just in Iran, not just in Ukraine, but we have a lot of events that's going on in Africa. We got a lot of events that's going on. We got Cuba, we got Venezuela events. There's just so many things. UK is in a crunch for energy, so a lot of things. Russia is deploying its oil. A lot of nations is buying it, like China and things like that. So this is going to create more tension on a global scale. All right, so keep your eyes locked and loaded on that. Oil prices, electricity prices, utility companies, and things like that. So Verizon, like I said, $47 calls from the bill on Verizon, so we'll rock and roll on that. All right, so let's get it. All right, so our main target today, our main fish today is going to be an ETF. You understand that we like to trade this so everybody have an opportunity. Just a pretty much an even playing field. So let's see if we can make some money from the bill, and let's see if we can continue to keep on pushing as the market continue to keep on rallying on. All right, upside, downside, it doesn't really even matter if the market is consolidated. There's still opportunities to trade the market. You just got to find the right tickers, and you got to use those tickers to your advantage. If you guys was watching my video last night, you guys understand that I charted multiple things. I charted Dominion Energy, CTSA, now, and things like that. Now is already still rallying to the upside. It's up 6 points. EPAM, FICO is up as well. So pretty much FICO is up over 100. And $5 over the last 2 days. So pretty much just looking at this and see if we can actually make some noise once this market opens. All right, we getting close. We got less than 2 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, less than 2 minutes. So let's pretty much rock and roll. So AT&T, we got some Verizon. I'm sending the trades out to the group. So make sure you guys take full advantage of the trade ideas. Let's get it. All right, less than a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Let's rock and roll. Remember, today is Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. So please be patient with yourself, right? Do not force a trade. Continue to keep on building and growing. Let's get to this bag. All right, let's get it. You guys have any comments, put it in the chat. I will reply. Let's go. All right. Let's get it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the market's about to open up here in 18 seconds. Please, ladies and gentlemen, be patient, be poised. Let's get this bag. All right. Let's get it, let's get it, let's get it. 7 seconds. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 4, 3, 2, 1. The market is sound, ladies and gentlemen. This is part of the game. All right, let's get it. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, the market is open. Let's see what we have, ladies and gentlemen, on the chopping block today. Let's get it. All right, we pushing up from the bell. A nice little bounce. Let's get it, let's get it. All right, nice little bounce. All right, so let's see what this market want to do for us, though. All right, let's get it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, just looking at the market for what it is. TSLA. Tesla, we're going to see if Tesla come up in and trigger. Once Tesla trigger, ladies and gentlemen, above 405, we're going to be taking some calls to the upside on Tesla. All right, so let's see what we got going on. Patience, patience. All right, let's see what we got. All right, let's see. SPY. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, the market is fresh. 1 minute time frame. If we come down here, we break below on the put side, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take these trade ideas. All right. Screenshot. Let's get this money. All right, let's rock and roll. Let's see what we got. 10. All right. SPY, ladies and gentlemen, let's rock and roll to the downside. Let's see what we got. Let's see if we hold. All right. Let's switch to flip. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Apple, $300 calls on Apple, ladies and gentlemen, 90-minute time frame, $300 calls for Wednesday. So that'll be the 20th. Let's get it. $300 calls on Apple. Let's rock and roll. Let's get it. All right, let's go. Let's go, y'all. Let's get this money. All right, let's go. All right, let's get this money, y'all. $300 calls on Apple. Let's rock and roll. Let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, let's get it. Let's get it. Apple, you should be in profit, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it. All right, let's go. All right, so just looking at the market for what it is, Apple is shooting up. 1 minute time frame. We got a continuation, $300 calls. Let's rock and roll. Let's get it. Let's go, y'all. Let's rock. All right, SPY just sitting there, ladies and gentlemen. 10-second time frame. No SPY, we just holding above to put entry. So my thing is, let's rock on that front. All right, let's get it. All right, let's get it. All right, let's go. SPY, ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking to scalp SPY here pretty soon. I'll let you guys know. Scalp it to, actually, I'll call entry. I'll let you guys know what's brewing. All right, let's see. Tesla, plug, BBAI. All right, let's go see BBAI. getting smoked. 15-minute time frame. So let's see what happens. 90-minute time frame. We got a 3, a bearish 3. 5-minute time frame. We're pushing up. We did pretty much just sitting off of there. All right. So looking at the market for what it is, ladies and gentlemen, let's be a little bit patient. Let's be a little bit patient here. All right. All right, Apple, ladies and gentlemen, everybody should be taking some profit out on Apple, ladies and gentlemen. 15-minute time frame on Apple, 1-minute time frame. Go ahead and start securing some profit on Apple. All right, let's get it. Let's go. Let's go. All right, so let's secure some profit on that. All right, Apple top 299.61. That was pretty much a flawless victory. 90-minute time frame. We got a 233. So back-to-back outside candles. Both outside candles is a sign that Apple wanted to push to the upside, and we did. So we was able to capture that. So that was pretty much an awesome trade. All right, so let's build from there. Let's build from there. All right. All right, Tesla never triggered to the upside, ladies and gentlemen. 1-minute time frame on Tesla. We did go up and knock out 204.58. But we never completely triggered above 204.80, so 205. So that wasn't a good trade at all. So that's what I like about the market. All right, so let's see what we have. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we shall see what Tesla want to do here pretty soon. All right, if we break, we take. All right, other trade ideas, AT&T. So just looking at AT&T, went up 24.64, 15-minute time frame. We do have an outside counter, which is the 3 is bearish. We took out the high, we took out the low, so we keep our eyes locked and loaded on that. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, we went up here and reject 5-minute time frame. Looking at now, if we break below today's low of 106.66, we'll be taking the 110 push this week expiration. Let's get it. All right. All right, everybody that's stuck in those runners on Tesla, ladies and gentlemen, not Tesla, on Apple, ladies and gentlemen, this is another opportunity to get out some of those contracts and keep it moving. All right. All right, let's get it. NVDA, ladies and gentlemen, NVIDIA. Let's get it. All right, NVIDIA cross all our thresholds, ladies and gentlemen. We should be cooking with cooking. Let's get it. NVIDIA should be cooking for us, ladies and gentlemen. Let's rock and roll. Let's go. NVIDIA is smoking for us. All right, now trigger, ladies and gentlemen. NVIDIA is cooking for us. We should be doing pretty well on those video contracts, ladies and gentlemen. So congratulations to everybody that took the contract. We're cooking if you guys inside the Telegram. All right. Teamworks make the dream work, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it's all about. All right. Teamworks make the dream work. Let's get it. All right. So just looking at SPY, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, in a minute, I want to scalp it, but I'm going to be a little bit patient. To be honest with you, 15-minute orb, we came out. We didn't completely close below, so that's what it's all about. Let's get it. All right. All right, so we didn't take now, even though it triggered. I didn't like the way it triggered and what happened after that, so be patient. All right. Let's see what we have. Let's get off this. Weekly. Let's get it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, time to come up here and see what Coca-Cola want to do for us on a 15-minute time frame. Not looking too great. We did do some rejection. Looking at Pepsi, ladies and gentlemen, 5-minute time frame on Pepsi. I'm taking a Pepsi 150 calls this week expiration. Let's rock and roll. We got a target based off the weekly time frame to go 2 up. So put us around 155. Let's get it, Pepsi. Let's get a Pepsi. All right, let's get a Pepsi 150 calls. We got a 10% stop loss. Just looking at SPY, ladies and gentlemen, on a 5-minute time frame. SPY want to come up here and make some noise, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll let you guys know what we're going to do here pretty soon. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, NVIDIA up here went up here and reject 223.32. We went all the way back down. So pretty much, ladies and gentlemen, be a little bit patient, be a little bit poised in your trades. All right. All right, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. For everybody that took those hubs, ladies and gentlemen, hubs is looking pretty damn good. Basically, off the weekly time frame, we had an opportunity. We're knocking out pretty much 6 of our targets so far. Target 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 targets. We're looking to go up there and knock out 225. We hit 220, 270. So please, ladies and gentlemen, you guys took those hubs contracts. Congratulations on that front. Those were just stellar contracts. So let's try to make it. Let's try to build something from there. All right. All right. Coca-Cola still looking pretty damn good, ladies and gentlemen. 5-minute time frame on Coke. All right, $82 contracts this week, expiration on Coca-Cola, ladies and gentlemen. 6-hour time frame, we're looking stellar. 9-hour time frame, we're looking good. In the weekly time frame, it looks like we want to continue to keep on pushing up. We got multiple targets, all-time high 82, so that would be our permanent visible level that we should pay close attention to once we hit 82. But here goes some more targets for you, ladies and gentlemen. 82.98, 83.65. So let's see if we rock and roll from there. All right, let's get it. Alright, so just looking at SPY, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, if we can get an opportunity to scout, we will. But if we come down here once again, break and retest, let's see if we come up here and go back above, put entry and come back down, and then we can go from there. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking to actually enter into these 733 put 0 DTEs. Let's go. All right, let's get it. I got a 10% stop loss. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, looking at Pepsi. Ladies and gentlemen, let's see if we can come up here and make this noise. We should be in profit. All right, let's get it. Let's go. Money to be made, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it. 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 Money to be made. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, all it takes is one trade. Just be patient. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we just created 733.71 was the low of the day, ladies and gentlemen. So please, let's see if we can rock, roll, and break those levels. You guys should have an opportunity to make some money. All right, let's get it. All right, let's get it, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you guys pay close attention to what's really going on. All right, Apple is at 300, ladies and gentlemen. So if you guys are in some runners on those, you can start clipping a little bit more. All-time high is 303.20. So just looking at it on a daily time frame, we can go two up. Two up will put us around $300.71. So keep your eyes locked and loaded on that. All right, so that was pretty much a bang bang trade on that. So congratulations if you took that. All right, so SPY, ladies and gentlemen, just created a new low of the day. So congratulations if you guys took that trade with me. That was pretty much a beautiful trade idea. All right, that was beautiful. All right, let's go. Let's get it, let's get it, let's get it. Rock and roll. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you guys can actually exit the Pepsi contracts. We hit target $150.33. You can exit that. Let's go. Easy money, easy money. Let's go on the Pepsi. Let's get it. All right, the Pepsi contracts is doing beautiful right now, ladies and gentlemen. Doing really beautiful. Let's go. So everybody that took those Pepsi contracts, congratulations on that. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be scalping the 735s, call 0 DTEs. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's go. We in profit. Let's get it. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, exiting it right here. Let's get it. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the SPY is running. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys should took some profit. We in the money. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go. Alright, so this is what it's about, ladies and gentlemen. Get on the live, trying to make some money, trying to see it through, trying to help others see the market for what it is. It's full of nothing but opportunities. The opportunities there, just grasp the moment and then just see it through. Looking at Oracle 15-minute orb. Oracle looking pretty good, 185. Oracle, $200 calls. Let's rock and roll. Let's get it. Just looking at spot for what it is, ladies and gentlemen. We had an opportunity. We did scalp it, so those contracts pretty much paid. So that I love that. So I love it when an idea comes together. All we have to do is just be patient and then take full advantage of the time when the time comes. I got a few more minutes left with you, ladies and gentlemen, and then our exit stage left. Let's go. Being able to take full advantage of this market, what makes me feel a little bit more comfortable for myself and also other traders and clients inside my group. So this is what I like about the market. Let's go. Let's get it. So it's a lot of money to be made in this market, ladies and gentlemen. We just got to be patient and be poised and just take full advantage of a trade idea that's in front of us. Like being able to look at the market, look at Microsoft, seeing how Microsoft actually performed today. We hit 432.70. Microsoft was lagging behind all the other competitors in the Mag 7, but it's still trading inside of a range, 90-minute time frame. We got a 132, 123. We're pretty much looking to see if Microsoft come out, take out today's high, but don't look like it so far. 15-minute time frame, we're currently inside, so we shall see what happens over the next couple of minutes. All right. Patience is patience, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it's all about. It's just all about just executing. If you can execute, you can do a phenomenal job in this market. It's all about execution. Execution is key, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so it's all about execution. All right. Let's see how Meta performed today. Meta not looking too bad. 15-minute orb, we still haven't broke above. Let's see. All right, so looking at Meta, 9-hour time frame. Meta just, wow, a lot of wicks still stuck inside of a range. If Meta can actually go 2 up, wow, and take out 16-15, we have an opportunity to continue to keep on rallying on Meta to take out this range operating formation. So we'll keep an eye locked and loaded on that. But Today was pretty good. We was able to trade some good trades. Pepsi made a little bit of money. Coca-Cola made a little bit of money as well. We made some money off of SPY, or a decent amount of money off of SPY, and AT&T. Pretty cool. Nice day. NVIDIA made money, so I like how that's look. All right, so just looking at Google, I just want you guys to understand that Google did come out and didn't do exactly what we wanted to do. So that's just part of the game. 15-minute orb on Google just completely came down and flushed below 392.84, and we completely flushed all the way to the downside. So pretty much 8-point move almost to the downside. So we'll see what Google One does on the 5-minute time frame. It looks like we want to go up and go 2 up. That'll put us around 186.90 and see if we can go back up to 390. So let's see. And then we understand that Tesla is very elusive, so those are some things that I try to pay close attention to. Tesla bounced off the low of 399.32. We at 402, so we'll see what Tesla does over the next couple of minutes. All right, so we're getting close to 10 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen. So 10 o'clock, we're getting close. I like to see what 10 o'clock does, and then I like to see what the three minutes after 10 o'clock shows us. All right, let's get it. Alright, so like how the video's looking, ladies and gentlemen, the video's looking pretty good, looking pretty strong. We do have earnings. 50-minute time frame, we're currently inside. 12-hour time frame, been looking too good, but like I said, the 2-minute time frame, it looks pretty good if we bounce off these lows. When the market opened, then we shot all the way up to 223.32, and then we did do some form of rejection. So we will see. You know, don't hold your breath on it. Continue to keep on building from there, and then we can make some money. So let's see what we have. Notification. Let's get it. All right, Pepsi still running, ladies and gentlemen. So congratulations to everybody that took that trade on the live. We cooking to the upside. Let's go. All right. Let's get it. All right, let's go. Pepsi is almost at 151. Let's get it. Let's get it. Honestly, this was an easy trade. 90-minute time frame. We had a 1, 3, 3. But if you put it on the 15-minute, we had a 2. See it? 2, 2, 3, 3, 2. So pretty much outside, outside, 2 up. So that's what I like about the market. The market is a beautiful place. I just love it. I just love how the market actually puts us in position to be successful. I love it. Love it. 9:45. 2-minute time. Execution is key, y'all. Execution. There we go. Up, up, and away. 251. Pepsi cooking. Let's go. Let's get it. Still cooking. Easy trade weekly time frame. Pretty much we had a fell 2 down, 2 bullish reversal. Like I said, 155 is my target on runners to be able to trade it back up to the upside, but you could take some profit off the table. All right, let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Screen. Money to be made, man. It's just money to be made in this market. All we have to do is just execute. Execute, right? So many great groups, so many great traders out there. Just execution. All right, seeing it through, seeing what works for you and seeing what doesn't work for you. All right, so let's see. John said he likes $14 calls. 15-minute time frame, we are inside. 5-minute time frame, we do have a 2-2 continuation. I do like $13 calls this week. Love it. Alright, so like I said, ladies and gentlemen, Tesla didn't do exactly what we wanted to do today, but on a weekly, Tesla's getting smoked. So pretty much just looking at it for what it is. 6-hour time frame, Tesla's getting smoked to the downside. Let's go. It's money to be made, ladies and gentlemen. Do not short sell yourself. It's 10 o'clock on the dot. We got 3 minutes after that, and I will be ending this live. All right, let's go. Alright, so hopefully you guys took your profit on Pepsi. Alright, this is how spot looks, ladies and gentlemen. Went up here and we reject. Alright. Let's get it. Let's get it. The spot break below our put entry again, ladies and gentlemen. We take position. It's just that simple. Alright, we're just watching it, just being patient, ladies and gentlemen. Watching it, being patient. Alright. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're breaking below 10-second time frame. Let's see if we hold below. We're gonna be taking the 734 0 DTEs here pretty soon. Let's see if we retest. And then come back down. All right, let's go. 734 0 DTEs. All right, let's get this money. We in profit. Let's get paid. Let's go. Money to be made, y'all. All right.